Union Minister Law and Justice Kiren Rijiju says 15 years long governance of Congress attempted to disintegrate and divide various communities of the state. CLP leader Okrami Bobi questions whether present government wants to erase democracy and bring dictatorship over failure to conduct local body and ADC election. Election Commission relaxes provisions of campaigning in the poll-bound states including Manipur owing to drop in COVID-19 active cases. Number of COVID-positive cases in Manipur down to 90 while 139 recoveries and 3 deaths reported in past 24 hours. COVID positivity rate stands at 4.89%. And India locks over 44,000 new COVID-19 cases, over 1,17,000 recoveries and 684 deaths in 24 hours. Recovery rate reaches 97.55%. Good evening and welcome to Impact News. You're watching Primetime English News. To stay protected from coronavirus, wash your hands frequently, wear your masks properly and maintain a safe distance. And I'm PREMI THANGJAM, bringing you the news in details. Union Minister Law and Justice Kiren Rijiju said BJP begging votes for upcoming election is for welfare of public, state and the country. He also mentions that 15 years long governance of Congress attempted to disintegrate and divide various communities of state. He was speaking during Mega Yuva Conclave at Thangmaiban Thau ground organized by Bharatiya Yuva Morcha, Manipur today. Speaking at the event, Union Minister Kiren Rijiju expressed contentment that the ruling BJP state government led by Chief Minister Nongthombam Biren benefited youths in sustaining their jobs. He also reminded public of the past Congress governance comprising of conflicts between hills and valley, 1-month-long highway blockades, among others. He also calls upon public to support BJP for furthering continued progress under Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Minister Nongthombam Biren leadership in the state. He opines that voting for Congress party will revert state backwards and also urges public not to waste time by voting for regional parties. BJP National Spokesperson cum Manipur in charge Dr. Sambit Patra, Thangmaiban constituency BJP candidate Jyotin Waikhom, President of Bharatiya Yuva Morcha Manipur M. Barish Sharma and BJP Manipur Pradesh members also attended the event.
जो बीरेंद्र सिंह जी मुख्यमंत्री बने, यहाँ बीजेपी का गवर्नमेंट बन गया, तो आप देखिए पहाड़ जो हिल्स है और वैली के बीच में बिल्कुल तालमेल बैठ गया है। उस समय कांग्रेस जो है मैते को नागा से झगड़ा कराते थे, नागा को कुकी के साथ झगड़ा कराते थे, कुकी को मैते के साथ झगड़ा कराते थे, हिंदू को मुस्लिम के साथ, क्रिश्चियंस को हिंदू के साथ, ये कांग्रेस ही खेलते थे। तो जब बीजेपी गवर्नमेंट बन गया तो ये सारा टेंशन खत्म हो गया। अभी हिल्स और वैली के बीच में बिल्कुल भाईचारा है। तो ये आदमी का इंटेंशन से होता है। मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में पूरा देश में जो माहौल अच्छा बना है, वो माहौल नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन में भी बहुत अच्छा माहौल बना है। पब्लिक को बताना होगा, अगर गलती किया तो फिर वो कांग्रेस का जो डार्क डेज है वो वापस आ जाएगा। इसलिए वो वापस चैप्टर को हमको खोलना नहीं है। बीजेपी का जो अच्छा काम हुआ है, 5 साल जो यहाँ मणिपुर में काम हुआ है, उसको आगे ले जाने के लिए मोदी जी का आशीर्वाद से फिर से मणिपुर में एब्सोल्यूट मेजोरिटी से बीजेपी की सरकार बनना बहुत जरूरी है।
Union Minister Kiren Rijiju said Manipur advanced towards development since the inception of BJP-led government. He was speaking during reception ceremony of new supporters of Nauriya Pakhang Lakpa Assembly constituency BJP candidate SKB today. The new supporters were earlier executive members of other political parties. Union Minister Kiren Rijiju said peace has restored in the state along with various other developments with coming of BJP government. He added, unwanted incidents occurred in the past owing to failure for the then government to understand people. He further appealed to support BJP in the upcoming election, acknowledging their developmental works. CLP leader cum Chief Minister Okrami Bobi questioned whether present government wants to erase democracy and bring dictatorship over failure to conduct a local body and ADC election. He was speaking on the sidelines of flag hoisting ceremony of THANGJAM Assembly constituency INC candidate I. Hemochandra Singh. Today, O. Ibobi said the government cannot take the excuse of failure to conduct a local body election for COVID pandemic as local body elections are conducted in other states. He also questioned the existence of smart city.
Karigno tam lura sahi mga tam lura ga cooperator gi singi Infant Municipal Corporation gi election to widriba atai municipality singi election to widriba singi na autonomous district council gi election si tam lura bo to widra administrator di pai ri ba mantri dru paisen baneba mihut election to widra moin hair pa yai Corona na COVID na tawdri kari corona COVID to di UP dadi laita bra UP dadi kari tawri Karnataka atay state loy na Bihar na kaida matam sana local body election si tawis na tawbidri si kari no layriba government sina khumbiyo ba honorable speaker singjamai kendra da layriba sina khumbiyo ba singjamai praja sinda Manipur ki praja sinda kari maram ki tawdri no masi election tawbidri si.
Working President of MPCC and Singjam Assembly Constituency, Congress candidate Iringbam Hemochandra said underground groups under suspension of order and NSC and IM reportedly involving in election is unfortunate. He was responding to Impact News query during his flag hoisting ceremony at his residence in Chingamaka Khetri Lekai, Imphal today. The Congress candidate said some political parties trying to win the election at any cost by forgetting the cordial relation between people in hills and valleys will be a failure.
Somda shoot or even La Lobusingi Haita Manunda overt understanding labagi mong gumbatoba, Mayam Lady Hide, the music NSCNIM. NSCNIM gi question nama uzik Ladiba Tete parties may umbrella organization and Hainariba Mayam cannot Tonariba Mayam Ashida Su Makoigi role say. Masi am dubious oiba. Aduna electoral principles yaw da na Manipur ki territorial issue Manipur ki akoi ki social fabric valley da laiba akoi ki phurup ching da laiba akoi ki nungsi chana nan laiba ki kano si ga si loi namak ona taina na thamaga akoi di vote ka da ya de akoi di hook or crook any min season ani haiba di amna laibok thiba political trend namani aduna masi suksoi soi da na Manipur ki prajana masi handaki general election se da masi ki principle masi ki idea sibu su maithi ba suksoi soi na pigani.
Responding to Impact News query, Hemochandra said there will be a tough competition between the 4 candidates of Singjam Assembly constituency in the election and that sitting MLA Y. Khemchand will be badly affected in the election. Upon asking differences between the last 11th Manipur Legislative Assembly election and upcoming 12th State Legislative Assembly election, Hemochandra said he had a tough time contesting the previous election since all the other 3 candidates were against him. He expressed positivity on winning the election this time due to the reason that the other 3 candidates of Singjam Assembly constituency are contesting in their own interests from different political parties.
Nahamuk Singjamai da Ihagna Mighty Obasi Tasing Haragadi Loina Punjalaga against the Chatki Banina Maduyam Wagi fight Amo Oiva. Hauzikti Madugi Wafa Madu Laitre, Koi candidate Marimak Adum Kabuk Adum Loina Kanagani, Aduga Kwaidagi Sokato Zagi Wakal, the incumbent Huzi Oiba, MLA, Huzi Speaker Oiba, Simhak Monda Yam Tina Sokan and Kalegi Wakal. Kajino Haibabu Huzik Koi Leminaribasi candidate Ahum Mamadi. Makoi loino punmin narama atani makoi ticket tanami naramba nahamuki election da understanding ama lainaraga mathangda ama namulepa ama namulepa ga haibagi pauksu ai tajaki adu madugi ona tainabado hojikti magi kanoda lanbanda channagrabanina aigi wakalda suksoi soidana vote divide to ko matamda aigi lengja da vote aduga hanasu anti incumbency su adum singjamaida adum phajana lairabani.
Congress leader and Loken has accused BJP for delaying in completing the recruitment process of government jobs in the past 5 years, taking advantage of COVID-19 pandemic. He alleged BJP for not keeping its promises which were made before the last election. Loken attended the flag hosting ceremony of Thongju Assembly Constituency Congress candidate Seram Nekin at the candidate's residence in THANGJAM Torban Wangmaketri Lekai today. Speaking on the occasion, Loken appealed to public not to believe in the rumor that MLA of Thongju Assembly Constituency is likely to become the next Chief Minister of Manipur. The Congress leader claimed he will resign from politics if Thongju Assembly Constituency MLA becomes the Chief Minister, and that residents of Thongju Assembly Constituency should better moved out from the constituency if that happens. He said people should discuss on future of Manipur if BJP form the next government again.
Nasi the Bharatiya Janata Party meaning Pukagane Haiba, Siguma party say to Manipur Bidal Sabagi, election the Indian National Congress Lambato, Natti, Makoidi, Bharatiya Janata Party, Indian candidate Sigo, Makoidi, Makuta, Loina Mutkandava, Aduma party in a party ticket, Lautoki Patagiti, Makaraka Dava, Adum Nova candidacy, MLA, Subnataki. Tara Mato, the Tara Humdoi, I Masi Yoro, but say, Nasi Joy, Amukana, I Tamjari, but Center to Libamagi Party officer, ring in the Pinda, my executive council, the Ma, the young Maya, Markanano, Hypotheti, Kalab Tender number, quite one. Magi number labor. She did I put Congress and the Bharatiya Party. Sigum Basina, Labaki Sason to Buyabolo, Labaka Siki, losing Manekana Tadora Gadi. I put it home to Kendri Praja, Tanari Bayum Tandri Prajana, what won't the poor Amro of the Low Guinea, Madukana, I vote of you, Tamjali.
Congress candidate S. Nekin said he will work towards giving all the pending rights and benefits to residents of Thongju Assembly Constituency if he wins the election. He also made an assurance to open an MLA office each at the 7 Panchayat offices in Thongju Assembly Constituency to enable better communication between the MLA and general public, besides helping the athletes by setting up Thongju Sports Fund by donating half of the amount from MLA's monthly salary.
Usimbama, with the leg taba. The Gi Tori with Tabokam, Sipas, I live Talaga, Tabok, given me something. Other than the school man, she with the Mata, City Pazam, that Sagai, the Niki, Hong Topa, Satum Sing, Nanabi the Mata,
BJP candidate of Thongju constituency, Minister Thongam Biswajit alleged that Congress candidate Seram Nekin is trying to create problems in Thongju constituency upon knowing that he is losing the election. Speaking to media at his official quarter in Sanjain Thong, Imphal today, Minister Biswajit said no unwanted incident ever broke out in Thongju Assembly constituency during election time ever since he had become an MLA of the Assembly constituency. However, Congress candidate Nekin is constantly trying to create issues ahead of the 12th State Legislative Assembly election. He stressed that people should be allowed to choose candidates at their own free will. Biswajit refuted the allegation against him that he pointed gun at women in a drunken state. He stressed that candidates should campaign for election rather than wasting their time by starting fight with other candidates.
5 by 25 ta koi sajaba polling amagi manung chana leba mioi singda koi threat torpa masana aduga leiriba polling stations haba yaroi haidana democratic ki leiriba right pu singner ko si laiba gamna thiba thongdok amani haidana ai thamjabaga lona kanana khanaba hobono kanana khanada ba hobono haibudi thokiba incident mayam amaga jo mufuna haiba akoi gi leiriba JDU gi leiriba akoi gi mirep siga aiga nong tangangna rude thengnai kaungnai aduga moji seba to gen thorpani tau haidana thengnai adubu hairiba congress ki mirep siri Seram Nekin se asomda JDU gi miga mu खनरे फुरमे हाइबसी इंसिडेंट क्या लेग्रे सिना ताकपदी श्री शराम निकेन की लेबो वर्कर सिंगसे अदु मसा यावना अखोगी ज्ञान ताब दरकार लई अखोगी इचनुपी हाइगदरा केंद्र की नुपी अनि खगना अखोगी फुरित सेगाय हाइबने चिंगबो नोंमैना नमी हाइबने चिंगबा थौबुजी आम लाइबक थीबनी आइना हंगजरी मदुदी नसाना साना दुबु यानिंगब्राना नथमोइना यानिंगब्रा आइना तौगी हाइबा आइना नुमैना नमगी हाइबसी अमसु पल्ली करी यू फुल ngaurga lai haiduna nataba oidaba akhoi yarani haibagi matagumna tawbodo kesu kanana su yaroi public amta su yaroi isona su yaroi aduga lona isana su yaninga moi haibisi thamjage.
Former BJP candidate from Nungba Assembly constituency in Assembly election 2017, Adim Palmi made announcement to support Dipu Gangmai, who is contesting 12th state assembly election from Nungba Assembly constituency. Speaking to media at Manipuri today, Adim Palmi said he dropped the idea of contesting the election as independent candidate owing to pressure from BJP leaders at the centre to not contest the election. He added that he has been taking an active role in strengthening BJP from grassroots level and from the time when there was no BJP MLA in the state. He added the BJP leaders did not give him party ticket for candidature in the last outer Manipur parliamentary Lok Sabha election as well. However, he has no complaint against the BJP national leaders in giving ticket to someone else they trust more. He appealed to people of Nungba Assembly constituency not to feel bad against BJP.
Laijaba resource makai se 6 crore 80 lakhs asi matamdoda MP ki ticket ki damakta hairaga vote khomada smai tawga manga BJP ki ticket chi pirakhi da bane MLA se amuk lep ka dawbagi tawba matamda amuk ticket law tholak pa matamda aikhoi gi ticket tanaba voluntary retirement lawba aigi issue Dipu Gangmai Dinganglung Gangmai haibisi BJP ticket pikre qualify oiba man heli haina party na khallaga pikhrabani na nangumba mi amabu miraiba haibisi BJP na sumdabani aduna miraibisi nangna bol leba agadi masida shoklakadaba mayam se apha phataba mayam se aikhoi men khatningai ngamaroi aduna masigi wafam se hando o haina haibagi maramna ngasi si ai bot leptabagi phirep si lawre aduna ai nungba kendra da bot lepsararoi.
Janata Dal United candidate from Thangmaiban constituency, MLA Kumukcham Joykishan appealed to public to refrain from voting for candidates who fail to extend help to public in times of need, even it's he himself. He was speaking during Youth Meet organized by Thangmaiban Kendra Development Organization, Takdu Youth Front at Chingakam Lampak Community Hall today. Further, MLA Joykishan expressed happiness over formation of Youth Front in the constituency, indicating unity of intellectual youths. He is sure to sanction 20 lakh rupees every year to the front once he wins election in order to extend help to underprivileged kids who discontinued education due to poverty. He further assures of encouraging youths into sports by setting up proper field in the constituency. He reminded youths to elect candidates who intends to work for public welfare. He also raised apprehension that state will be in critical status if candidates are elected based on muscle and money power.
Thangmaiban ki candidate ki matang da ai thoina haining de ngasi tenbiri ba mayam su khangani Thangmaiban ki candidate meeting tawni na tawbse em da thenadri akoi swaida khombase board khombase speaker laktore mi ko gumba works minister laktore mi ko gumba kiren rijisu laktore mi ko ba ngasi su thau da meeting ama tawe ye kiren rijisu laktore ne taw meeting Thangmaiban ki ne taw meeting se bus tare ku mi holawi koi Thangmaiban de su bus ta mi holak le mi am sathi se adu su koi ki isini nau cha sing me am chalaga thause le ye ngom da masak khang da ba Thangmaiban ki praja ngang le ho hari level se Praja ke thabak tarogadi miyam adum tholakani Praja ke thabak tarogadi miyam tum inaroi habise Thangmaiban ki de Manipur miyam khudimang la dum thangbi hoi bise maje ma thamjage.
Attending the event, JDU candidate from Yai School constituency, THANGJAM Brinda mentions plights faced by educated youths of state due to lack of opportunities. She laments there is no social security for youths and it's unclear what might happen in future. She pointed such results from failure to elect a leader who is responsible for youth welfare. Further, she reminded that voting cannot be considered lightly and even described it as equivalent to exchanging a person's life. She thereby urges public to refrain from voting for previous political parties and opt for a new party that will do public welfare. Prosecution ex-director Ngangom Tejkumar, president of Tagdo Tribal Forum Denny Malangmai and Tagdo Youth Front officials attended the event.
ngasi koi gi thawai gi mamang se laira laira ga sakhi de ngasi koi ki to koi dana lai se ngasi adu phibam du dai ne ba manipur da lai ba political party me am se tried and tested na tani koi ga da lai ba ki regional party amata lai ta ba lai ba thi bana aduna ai koi na lai ba sangai ba political party sin sira Janata Dal United ki athiba min sa lai tri manipur ma koi na manipur mangan ba gi record su lai tri aduna masida naha sing amadi ahalon sin sira ina ku no na khurum jari madudi hanaki Mikhala sida tamosu ki sen ki makta sab sana lepi raga ino bo thada bi ro un ni sam thada bi ro Janata Dal United na manipur sarkar samin naraga ekoi lenga sida awon ba ma guzarake aina wasak sari madudi su so isoi dana ai yaw bom khamda lenga ki hom ba purakani.
JDU candidate from Kurai constituency THANGJAM Lokendro laments that incompetency and selfish motives of leaders in Kurai constituency has hindered progress in the constituency. He was speaking during his flag hoisting event held at his residence at Kongpal, Ningthaubung Laikai today. Further, Lokendro expressed discontentment that Kurai constituency is lagging behind in many areas, even though it lies close to Imphal city. He adds such comprises of road connectivity, education sector inability to facilitate schemes to beneficiaries of the constituency. Thereby, he reminded public that he joined electoral politics to bring about extensive development in the constituency. He also urged public for cooperation in JDU's efforts towards forming state government. JDU leaders and many residents from various parts of the constituency attended the event.
Kurai Kendra City Sehitra Mamuksida, Hogi Kurai Kendra Praza Mamna, Adigmatic Tawai Aksang Yona, Mahana Kariga, the Haibagi, Wakalonduda, Hogi Maku Kahan Gramatunda, Prazaga, Mutuki Marakta, Adigmatic Sambalama gave out Tatana Kar the Lai, Masi gives the Maramoraga, Hoikurada, development gi, Posak, later Larry Posak, Adigmatic Swatana Laki, Masiki Swatari Posashi Wamdandi, Kuragi, Hudamore, or in the Toksaraga, Mayam Shavatong, and Moisagi, have Wakalon saying Kurai Hudam Toksar. Kurai Masi, Infaliski, Quadigi, Center Leregazu, Infaliski Mayon the Leregazu, the singer Tangna wishing the Hoi Maranka in a Pangamdri. Was it still Hose, Kuragi Prazami, I'm missing the later Tai, Masi, sing a Sibu, a Prazagi, Yumton Kudimunda, Panganjagani Habagi, a Pandamamolo and Wasakamolo, Mamma.
NPP candidate from Yai School constituency, come NPP Manipur Vice President Huidrom Vikramjit said he joined electoral politics to pave new ways for emerging generations. He appeals public for cooperation towards bringing back transparency in politics like how it was 20 years back in the state. He was speaking during the reception ceremony of IMC Ward No. 14 ex-corporator S. Rita and her supporters during the event held at his residence in Wangkai THANGJAM Laikai today. The new NPP entrance assures to support Bikramjit for success this election. During the event, Bikramjit stressed on the importance of paving youth policies. Furthermore, he appealed public to support NPP candidates this election in order to prevent state's economy from degrading further and to rescue youths from unemployment.
Mathang lakadaba sarkar se yam awaba phibam amada thengnagadoribni hojik chaliba sarkar haitare loidrimnina makoina tawiremi ba thabak hapkani haidane advertise mayam tawgiba mayam se mathang lakba sarkar duna mun dai te logdoine masini ko yam wadoise adagi lakpa BJP gi leader sing sina hojik oibiriba leader akoi honorable CM honorable Biren se mathang ma leader oini jesuai haideba magi leadership makada mathangi sarkar su semgani haibase haideba adu tadi ludra advertise tawriba thabangang mayam singdu anauba chimisam lagtaragadi karamain tawduri si khanbiyo bayam lubani goi haijerise.
Flag hoisting ceremony of RPIA candidate from Oinam Assembly constituency El Brojan was held at his residence in Kainau, Thongthak today. Speaking on the occasion, RPIA State Secretary Brojin said that he is contesting the election with an objective to bring better change. He stressed on people spreading a message on votes could not be bought with money. Party observer and election committee chairman Vinod Nikalji, President of Election Committee of RPIA Oinam Assembly Constituency Irom Gandhi, RPIA Manipur State Women's Wing President Laishram Soma, and Working President of Election Committee of RPIA Oinam Assembly Constituency Laishangtem Sarat Maitei took part on the occasion.
Laiba developments in Onam Kirasa, looking at Sotaba Kendra Oi, Mamdi Masi, Hosi Powder Lambi Tong or Ising Machine or Personality, Helki Matanda, Pasna Hoi Fase Bihomlati, School Gimatang to as a Gamangi School of Habum the Lady, Tomato Musky Mam Sing a say, Amu Pansalai the Hatter, Aduna Maram Orga, and my papa Matam Hang Tong Zagabze, I give them the Masida, Government Tarak schemes in a say Pango the Bukarasu Helloy, always pension Pandaba Mille Helloy, Lukabiki pension Pandaba Mille Helloy. Disabled pension Pandaba Mille Helloy, Annapurna scheme Pandaba Mille Helloy, Family benefit scheme Pandaba Mille Helloy, Mam the Sarkana Brave scheme sing a say, Must person when a lorga, I get liars about Prazamiams, Makuta Sinna by Aki Tony.
Number of COVID positive cases in Manipur came down to 90, while 1,837 samples were tested in the last 24 hours. COVID positivity rate stands at 4.89%. As per the latest report from State Health Department and COVID-19 Common Control Room, total confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Manipur are 1,35,838. Active cases are 2,083. 3 COVID deaths were reported in the past 24 hours, rising the death toll to 2,083. On the positive note, 139 recoveries were reported in the past 24 hours, rising the total recovered cases to 1,31,486. Manipur's recovery rate stands at 96.80%. On the note, it's time for a small commercial break. After the break, we bring in updates on coronavirus cases in India and the world. We'll be right back. Keep watching Impact News.
Mama Singi Oiba, Nungaiba Pause, Tuna Lumhanba, Amadi Saitagilik, or Hanbagi Awabadagi Koknanaba, Try to view. Anoba, Mami Poco Pen, Box and a crisscross shit Oibana, Urin Botuna, Amadi, Hanjin Subsinduna Puntarani Toyona Hanba Diaperni. Haidiba Diaperasi, Japanese company Unicharm product ni. Asia's #1 baby diaper brand. Indiagi baby diaper market Tacha Danipur. Occupy Tauriba, Mami Poco Pen.
Pens leakage gives you good sleep. Mami Poco Pens.
Enjoy our freshly baked products. All our products contain honey. Kohi, taste the heart of Manipur.
Welcome back after the break, and you're watching Primetime English News. India added 44,877 fresh COVID-19 cases, 1,17,591 recoveries and 684 deaths in 24 hours. As per the latest report of Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, India's COVID-19 active cases in the country are 5,37,045. Total recoveries are 4,15,85,771. And recovery rate stands at 97.55%. Death toll reaches 5,08,665. Over 172 crore 81 lakh doses of COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in India so far. Globally, coronavirus has infected above 41 crore 12 lakh 46,000 people. Above 58 lakh 30,000 people have died, and recoveries are above 33 crore 13 lakh 98,000. USA has the highest active cases above 2 crore 85 lakh 91,000 in the world. In view of the decline in COVID-19 cases, the Election Commission has relaxed the provisions of campaigning in the poll-bound states, including Manipur. A press release from the Commission said that the ban on campaign timings in poll-bound states will be between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. instead of earlier timing of 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. Political parties and candidates may campaign from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. by following all COVID-appropriate behaviors and protocols of State Disaster Management Authority. The Election Commission further added that political parties and candidates are now permitted to hold their meetings and rallies up to maximum of 50% of the capacity of the designated open spaces or the limit prescribed by SDMA. First phase of 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly election on February 28 will decide the fate of 55 candidates for Imphal West District. 55 candidates will contest election in 13 constituencies for Imphal West District. 24 out of 55 candidates are giving maiden appearance in election. 56 candidates filed their nomination papers till last day of submission of nomination paper on February 8. However, Langtabal constituency independent candidate Pukrabam Somojit withdrew his candidature. Maximum number of candidates are contesting in Sekmai constituency with 8 candidates. 26-year-old Sekmai NCP candidate THANGJAM Popilal is the youngest candidate, and as per his affidavit, he is the poorest candidate. While 80-year-old Langtabal constituency Indian National Congress candidate Okram Joy is the oldest politician. Kaishamtong constituency independent candidate Sapam Nishikant is the wealthiest candidate, and 6 women candidates will contest in various constituencies of the district. Imphal East District DC Kumanthame Daina announced that for the first time, absentee voters of Imphal East District will be allowed to cast their votes in the 12th Manipur Legislative Assembly election using postal ballot facility. Speaking to media during press meet organized at Porompa DC office today, Daina said 3 categories of the absentee voters are seniors above 80 years, persons with disability, PWD and COVID patients. She said total of 1,254 voters applied for availing this facility to returning officer for seniors above 80 years category, as well as 40% of the certified PWDs and 270 disabled persons, but none from COVID category yet. She said that 16 polling teams have been appointed for the same. Meanwhile, Daina informs that under Essential Services category of ECI, 6 persons have applied for postal ballot so far in Modern College, SIRD Training Hall, DC Complex, Panchayat Bhavan and DIC Hall, Porompa will be opened as voting centers starting February 24th.
Arosingnasu thadagadoriba postal ballot opt toriba absentee voter gisi list ama contesting candidate singdasu share tobigani aduga moina chatkadoriba date amasung timing schedule purama aro concern singna contesting candidate singda pibigani contesting candidate singnasu process asi witness toba yengba yai magi authorized oiba agent singna authorized oiba agent sing adugi authorization letter ama aro singda matam chana pibinaba hangna appeal tawzari aduga absentee voter singdasu ngasigi press briefing asi Kuthangda SMS ta lakadoriba timing amasung pungduda lebiramnaba request tawzari aduga aro singna magi schedule karam kanda chatkani karam kanda lakani habaduma khoigi absentee voters singdasu SMS ki kuthangda share tobigani contesting candidates singnasu mohoina pamagadi desire tawragadi sigi witness tawnaba process asi magi authorized oiba representative booth level agent oibe prior intimation aro singda haibiraga witness tawhanba yagani all candidates singna election asi free oiba fair amasung peaceful oiba transparent oiba achieve tawnaba cooperate tobi aduga ngasai process asi fully videographed oiganiba.
Apun Banupi Lub Kolub Laikai, Kairao Makting clarifies that allegations charged by Kairao Mating Awang Laikai Women Development Association through media that NPP workers took down NCP flags and hurled stones to NCP workers during an incident at Kairao Makting Mayai Laikai on February 11th as baseless. Speaking to media at Kairao Makting Mayai Laikai Kolub today, one localite, Mohammed Jamil Ahmed condemns the accusation of NCP. He said that none of the locals caused any inconveniences to NCP workers that day. Instead, he condemns the threat inciting fear among public and destroying houses that were resulting in connection to the incident. Thereby, he appeals to relevant authorities to look into the matter and also urges to conduct this election in free and fair way.
intending candidate masa yauna thong kau khaiba mi phuba nupi angang wot naiba mi chamrak ta nomai caption by khoi sengna yaning de condemn tawjari aduna ngasi hairiba thawdo asibu government na mai leina lokhatlaga election asibu free amdi freer da election ji phajana ma ningtamna pangthoksi akhoi masu laikai de lepchabani manasu chawkha tharang tawjasanu atotoba candidate so lakpada akhoi athingba mata leite phajana parja singa se amata oin nungsinana phajana vote thathaji habaduni mayam punna aduna ngasi aroi boina amaka sindokchari ngasi samaina nupi angang phu chaira tawbiriba mayam ase akhoi matungda mahan tawbiganu ngasi khoidi yam chamna suru nonma ga yam nungsin chana leiminabani maram aduna sugumba thawdok atho aji thoklagadi matung tabada government na akhoi ge mateng pangbiu haijabasina tanai khoi pai laijde.
World Mithai Council WMC calls for total shutdown in the state starting February 21st against murder of oil tanker driver Kasham Praveen and handyman Namram Nipin Singh, who were killed at Mizoram on January 31st and February 8. WMC further announced a blockade along Silchar-Aizawl National Highway from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. of February 21st. In connection to the killings, WMC is pressing demands to Chief Minister of Mizoram, Assam and Manipur to intervene into the matter and award befitting punishments to involved miscreants at the earliest. Speaking to media at Manipur Press Club in regards to the proposed shutdown, Chairman of World Mithai Council, Haikrujan Nabashyam, said Praveen and Nipin were travelling to Mizoram on January 13th. However, suspected Mizo miscreants brutally murdered Praveen at Buchali in Mizoram's Saigang district on January 31st. In an irony, Mizoram police personnel arrested Nipin on suspicion of killing Praveen and detained in jail. After a series of torment from police, Nipin died on February 8. Thereby, Nabashyam pressed demands to the three state chief ministers, urging them to facilitate handing over the case to either CBI or NIA for justice. He also calls upon public in extending solidarity towards bans and blockades of WMC in demanding justice for the case.
Jail manungda masama tomda heng torga sirame na hai na moina accuse torga asi hatoga heng to holimiba asigi surat numit tangkung mathoi phawbase asigi manungda Mizoram government na especially Mizoram chief minister masana initiative lorga due process of law puthokpi bagi akoi achumba tawre tawba hawre habdo visible loiba sign khudam moina akoi KC CBI da sinare natraga NIA asida sinare haiba adugumba ama tawdragadi tang kunga mathoi surat phawi mamang tawdragadi haidi tang kun phawma tawdragadi tang kunga mathoi sora nami sida Silchar Aizawl National Highway asi block tawganeba at the same time Manipur dasu singtam khaidana Manipur pumbada hariba matam sida Manipur dadi pung akhoigi general strike habdo singtam khaidana general strike akoi kaujagani.
Human Resource and Research Innovation Center along with Department of Education and Sociology jointly kicked off two-week faculty induction program at conference hall of Eskula Women's College in Nambol yesterday. Speaking on the sidelines, Principal of Eskula Women's College M. Surjit said the program is conducted with an objective to enlighten newly appointed teachers on how to teach their students, setting of examination question papers and other important things. He added, the program will help in producing bright students. The program will be held till February 24th.
ade mato kam na khoi research work to gani habni singbo makhal makha agi akhoi kano masal singa se khoi gi sangba na maram oidana askum lo khoi escomen college na askum nauna khoi government appoint to lo ba sing amadi nauna ja ba lam da sangbe be sing da khoi oja ni pa obi nupi obi oja sing du da tangai phadana moi da laige da khoi gi gun sing ado adu gi mam da akhoi gi neina jaba sinjaba askum ba program ni.
In view of the upcoming election, to avoid untoward incident, Imphal East Police carried out search and cordon operation from Kairao Bitra Mayai Leka in Maibam Lampak to Wangjam Lairak under jurisdiction of Irilbung Police from 6 to 8 this morning. The team, including Imphal East Commando team and Irilbung Police OC, was led by District Additional SP, Law and Order and SDPO Porumpat. 50 men were verified during the operation. No one was arrested. However, one double-barrel bridge loading gun was seized from a house of the locality. 16th leg match of the 63rd Sir Churchan Singh KCSI CBE Memorial Invitation Football Tournament at the artificial turf ground in Lamlong, Tongkong, Imphal, Sagolban United defeated Nisa Thangmaiban in 1-0 this morning. On the other hand, a 17-leg match between Nisu Kurai and KSC Kangpokpi ended in 2-2 draw. In the 18th match played this afternoon, Classic FA Chingmairong defeated Aim Khabam 4-0. The other 3 league matches of the tournament will be played tomorrow. The football tournament is underway under the aegis of All Manipur Football Association. Before we end, let's take a look at headlines once again. Union Minister Law and Justice Kiren Rijiju says 15 years long governance of Congress attempted to disintegrate and divide various communities of the state. CLP leader PREMI Bobby questions whether present government wants to erase democracy and bring dictatorship over failure to conduct local body and ADC election. Election Commission relaxes provisions of campaigning in the poll-bound states including Manipur owing to drop in COVID-19 active cases. Number of COVID-positive cases in Manipur down to 90, while 139 recoveries and 3 deaths reported in past 24 hours. COVID positivity rate stands at 4.89%. And India logs over 44,000 new COVID-19 cases, over 1,17,000 recoveries and 684 deaths in 24 hours. Recovery rate reaches 97.55%. And that's all we have in this edition of the English Primetime Bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Coming up next is Manipuri Primetime Bulletin. For more news, you can also follow Impact TV on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube. Till then, good night, stay indoors and stay safe.
This program